Beef ribs in the Ninja Foodi 8-quart deluxe. And I'm going to throw in a kind of a hack that you can do that helps a lot when you're grilling beef ribs, or honestly pork ribs or anything. And it involves pressure cooking them. And that's because it takes a long time to cook a rib. Beef ribs are similar to pork ribs on the low and slow. It takes a while. In fact, Aaron Franklin says 6 hours at 280 degrees. So, I mean, that's a long time for most people, especially if you're just trying to do a Friday night barbecue. Well, my hack is you pressure cook them 2 or 3 nights in advance, and then put them in the refrigerator. And when you're ready to, for your guests to get, once you start your grill up, you put them back on the grill, heat them up, put some barbecue sauce on them, and everybody wonders how you got them so tender, so quick. That's really what happens. And I think that happens a lot, and sometimes when people don't even know it. We're not going to do it that method, although we could. I'm going to do the whole thing in this Ninja Foodi Deluxe, because I can. Although I've got a Ninja Foodi grill, indoor grill, that would work great for this too, once they're pressure cooked. I don't think you can cook these real fast on some things. I think they got to have pressure cooking or a long time of cooking, one of those two. But anyhow, we're about to get this started. I'm going to use my favorite rub, which are here recently, is a big green egg, ancho, chili, and coffee. But you can use anything you want. Either way, I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. Let's do a rib hack that works really well. Okay, so for a brief explanation on what we have is beef ribs for barbecue, and that's how Ingalls had it worded, and that's what they are. They're beef ribs, and they've already cut them in two. But let me say, if they were still in the slab, that would work fine, as long as they'll fit in your Ninja or your Instant Pot or whatever you're using. But what I want to say is is that this works any method you want to do. You don't have to put them in the refrigerator, of course. You just cook them 25, what I'm going to do is 25 minutes on high. Cook them 25 minutes on high, and then go straight to your charcoal grill or your gas grill or whatever method you're going to cook them. And even the oven, you know, what heat source you want to brown them. But the grill works great, and this works good for a Friday night barbecue. And I'll say this. They could be short ribs. It doesn't matter. Short ribs work good with this too. You just need to get pressure on them to get that cartilage and all, and the fats to break down. And you can see these beef ribs are excellent. I don't know why more people don't cook beef ribs. Once you eat one, you'll see what I mean. They're similar to steak, but they're different. But they are real similar to a steak flavor, so you got to keep that in mind. Don't treat them like a pork rib, because they don't taste like a pork rib. But they are fantastic. I think they're underrated. They're undercooked. You look on YouTube, there's a million videos on pork ribs, and not near as many on beef. I don't know why, because they are excellent. And I'm using ancho, chili, and coffee from Big Green Egg, and I like it. It's kind of a new one I've used many different kinds, but you don't have to use anything but salt and pepper. Again, treat it almost like a steak. It's beef, so treat it kind of like that. Now, I'm trying to think of anything else I need to say right quick. If you are going to, like we're going to do tonight, we're going to cook them on high for 25 minutes, and I'm going to immediately pour the water out and then put these up on the top with an air fry heat method and just get them caramelized, the barbecue sauce and all. Well, that's really all you would be doing if it was Friday night and you was fixing to go out there and cook on your grill. But if you were going to put them in the refrigerator now, this is what I'd say is that if you've got plenty of time, if you know you're not going to be in a hurry, my suggestion might be only cook them, say, 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how hot your grill is going to be and how long you're going to stand around and let them heat. You know your situation better than I. But if you're going to put them straight on, or if you're wanting to get them just in a hurry, I'll say it like that, then I go ahead and cook them to 425, put the barbecue sauce on them, and throw them right on the grill. No, I'd throw them on the grill, let them get warm a little bit, and then put the barbecue sauce on them. You don't ever want to sauce one too early, or the sauce will just burn. But I'm sure you know that. But anyhow, what we're going to do, I'm fixing to get these out of there. I'm going to spray them with avocado oil for no other reason than to help this stick. Or if I was using salt and pepper, I would still spray them with avocado oil, or just to get that the seasonings to stick. We're going to get them there and get this started. So y'all hold up and I will be right back. Okay, there are the ribs and they are ready to go. Now I'm using the double rack that comes with the Ninja Foodi Deluxe. And but you don't have to have it. You just put the regular trivet in and layer them in there and they'll be fine. I just use a trivet or a rack because I don't like my ribs to sit in the liquid. I just think it kind of crosses the line of boiling them. Now, I'm only using water, just straight water. You can use Coke, beer, whatever you want to use, but I just use water. And so the 1 cup of water is in there. I'm going to set the ribs in, put the lid on, make sure it's sealed, turn the unit on. It is set to pressure. I'm going to change the time to 25 minutes. Press start, and we are off and running. And I'll be back when that finishes. See you in a second. Okay, so we are coming up on the end of the 25 minutes where all we have to do is that right there. Quick release. Be back. Okay, there went the pen. Take this lid off. And I didn't want to run that water on there more than I had to. Put the lid in the sink, and there is what they look like. And you can see they, whoops, fogged that camera. But you see they've pulled back on the bone considerably, which is a good thing. They're going to be easy to chew. That's excellent. So I'm going to take those out, and we're going to set them right here, and then we're going to get them set up. I'm going to move them to here. See if you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to move them to here, and then I'm going to choose one of these sauces, which I'm going to use that one. I already know, but I like to have plenty. Because like with this right here, if you were having a gathering, and some people might want other things, and this sweet, whatever flavors, you know, they might want. And I just think it's a good idea because you can kind of individualize the rib itself. And that's not going to land on there just right, but either way, it's not going to hurt anything. All right, what I'm going to do is let those sit just a minute. I'm going to get them transferred to here, to that platter. And we're going to sauce them up and get them back in there. So got to get that water dumped out of there, by the way, which if you want to see that, it does, you might could find some use for that because it looks really good. But we're not going to. We're just doing this start. We're just doing it this way. Be back. Okay, so I'm just going to move these over to here. Kind of show you that you got to kind of be careful with them. And because the meat will come off if you try. I don't think it will unless you try. But, and by the way, some of these are going to be, I'm going to do exactly what I talked about. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. I'm only cooking probably 3 of these, or maybe 2 of them tonight, because it's just me. And then the rest of them are going in the refrigerator. And I'm going to cook them, I'm going to reheat them tomorrow by some method. But you can see they're nice. This is a way underrated rib. I'm telling you, it doesn't get cooked near enough. So, and I'm going to pour that off just to let you see what it looks like into here. So there's probably a lot of uses for that. I mean, it's pork broth, you know. So anyhow, I'm going to get some of that going. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I just noticed I'm kind of guilty of the same thing I've been saying. I called it pork broth, and that's because I cooked so many pork ribs. It's beef broth, but you can see I've let it settle a little bit. And you could do many things with that. Now this particular, if you use salt and pepper, it wouldn't, but this will have a coffee and ancho chili flavor. Again, nothing wrong with that. That might be some excellent beef broth for many, many things. Something you might even come up with for this. But I'm fixing to get my salt lick on here. Like I said, that's the one I'm going to use. And you heard me say on my thing about giving people a selection. There they are. And tomorrow I may do that with whoever eats ribs with me. But anyhow, I'll be back when I get that done. Okay, so obviously I have the pot or the liner drained, and I turned the rack over. I got it set in a high position. So I'm going to set them just like this. Whoops. And we're going to just kind of keep an eye on them because I want to see how they're doing. So in just a few minutes, we're going to look. So we're going to close that down. We're going to do function to air crisp. We could do broil also, but I'm going to try the air crisp and see how it does. I'm going to leave it at 390. I'm going to leave it at 20 minutes. I'm not leaving, so I know I'm not cooking it for 20 minutes, but I'm going to be looking. So we're off and running. In just a few minutes, say 3 or 4 minutes, we'll take a look in there and see how they look. Be back. Okay, so we're going to take a look just because I'm not sure what's to use here. And if you ask me, those aren't doing what I want them to do. So we're going to change that setting as simple as this. I'm going to hit the function button, go to broil, which takes it to 450 degrees. I'm going to leave it on 10 minutes and I'm going to start that. I think, honestly, they're not browning and caramelizing, and they're already cooked. You know, I'm not trying to heat them. I'm just trying to put some caramelization on that barbecue sauce. So be right back. Okay, so we're right at 2 minutes. Let's see what broil does. And it is a world of difference. I aimed the camera a little wrong, but in fact, I'm going to roll those over. They have, they've done almost what I want on that side. I think by the time that they do a little more right here, we'll look at them one more time. No big deal, but there we go, back and running. Be right back. Just for the record, let's look at it at 1 minute. If I could get my camera tripod to act right. And that's 1 more minute, so it's a total of 3 minutes, but you can see they are sizzling up. So the broil feature is definitely the way to go. Now I may roll those one more time. I'm gonna open them up without the camera and kind of look around at them, but they're probably close to what I want at this point. But I'm fixing to take a little better look. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I've done pretty much in those 5 minutes at broil was just turn them half around at a time and just kind of got, you know, all 4 sides. That's pretty much all I tried to do, and I think they are ready. And I'm fixing to open them up. I'm going to show you what they look like as I open it. And I mean, you can tell that broil feature is definitely, without a doubt, the way to go. Yes, I just kind of want to touch on everything that's went on. I mean, you can see those are some very good looking beef ribs that I promise you will love. They are excellent. And look at this. I mean, I'm considering, I'm going to save it. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do with it. It's already separated out. The fat's separated out. The sky's the limit right there. You can put that in the fat separator if you want that fat gone. You may not. Put it in the refrigerator and that fat will solidify and you can pull a lot of it off. So anyhow, I said I was going to just a minute ago, but I'm about to sit down and we're going to take a bite of that and see how it looks on the inside and see how the chew is. So, and I'm going to say this too, right quick. These right here, tomorrow, are going on most likely my charcoal grill. I may do green egg, but there's no reason for me to fire the green egg and takes all that time just to reheat ribs. But probably for a more practical purpose that most people will be doing, I'll probably just do my charcoal grill. I don't know if I'll be grilling hamburgers or anything too. I have to see what happens there. But I'm going to show you, after these sit in the refrigerator overnight, they will reheat. Now, you know, some of them, like in all packages, you got some that's not the best of them all. You know, usually, I technically say, you know, some of them are just straggle pieces. And, but I think they're going to be excellent. I got the best 2 out tonight. But there's plenty good in there. So we will see how that happens tomorrow if all goes well. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, so first of all, let me say, I have no idea where or how I'm going to insert this into to last night's video because it's already edited and ready to go. But tonight, when I opened the refrigerator and looked at these, I didn't want you to be discouraged. I wanted to show you how well they do. And there's how they look after they've been cooked and been in the refrigerator overnight. I mean, they don't look bad, don't get me wrong. They just don't look like it's something that's going to recover into a great looking, you know, something that come off the grill. And also, here is that broth. And it's been in the refrigerator also. And if you see right there, let me see, right there is the, now it was sealed down. I had to break the lid. It seals down. You can put it on, I'm assuming you can put it on your counter, on your shelf. I don't know. But there is the fat that you can cut off the top and then have that right there, which will be the best broth that beef broth that you'll ever make. And I mean, it's real, it's natural, it's all that. So I'm about to get this started, get the charcoal lit, and then we're going to put these ribs on just to give you an idea how they look after they heat back up. Now, these have been out of the refrigerator for about 1 hour, but that really doesn't matter because when you put them on a grill, we're going to heat them real slow. I'll say this, I'm using Fogo, which is a lump style charcoal. Now, it burns hotter than, say, Kingsford, briquettes. So, I mean, what I'm getting at is you got to be careful. You got to heat them slow and get them, warmed up. And then we're going to put the same sauce, wherever I've done with it, that I used last night on there. Then we're going to, after we get them warm, we're going to put some grilling on them, just like they've been grilled on the whole time on the grill. I also got, this right here will soon be up on my other channel, Hanging Out with Jelly, assembling that. And I just wanted to show it. And I thought I'd plug my other channel while I was doing this. But that right there is a pretty neat device. I tell the price of it and everything, Hanging Out with Jelly, which also has me assembling this grill. Anyhow, let's get these ribs heated up and get some barbecue sauce on them, and let me show you how you can kind of hack and trick your friends. Be right back. Okay, so I just got the charcoal scattered out a little bit, and I always do one spot in the middle, and that's so I can do hamburgers off to the left and right of it. And I'm not doing any hamburgers tonight. I'm doing this all just to show how these do. And I'll say also, if you remember, I said earlier, in the video, these are kind of I got the best two out last night. So, I mean, if you were doing this for a crowd, you would definitely, want to get a bunch of really good, decent looking like that, end up with something like that at worst, ribs. But some of these are a little coal, the ones they do in all packages. You always get one or two that's not all that. So I put them right there while the charcoal's kind of getting ready. I'm gonna let them sit there just a minute, then we may close it down just a little bit. It's all look and feel. And I may even get the thermopen and check it every once in a while, but right now we're just getting them heated up a little bit. So I'll be right back again. Okay, so those have been on right at 15 minutes. Again, over Fogo natural lump charcoal, which is pretty hot. And I just temped them, and I got anywhere from 125 to 135. So I'm going to move them around. I'm going to move them off the heat. And again, if you were grilling steaks or hamburgers, of course, you'd still continue to do that. Move these out from over the heat, just like that, and you are good to go. I'm going to go wash the bucket that I had those in, that container. And we're going to put some sauce on them, and then we're going to put them on top of that high heat right there, which is it is high heat. So y'all hold up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I had closed the grill down and kind of shut the vents to slow it down a little bit while I cleaned this out. But all we're going to do now is drop these in here and let that coal come back up to a little bit of heat, which is plenty now, I'm sure. But I mean, you can see they look a lot better than when they came out of that refrigerator, and they've got that, the char grill flavor now. I mean, that is what most people are expecting from a grill, and that's what it is. Okay, so all I did was put them in this container, shake them up a little bit with the salt lick. Now, I will say that sticky fingers or the darker sauces kind of give them a little better appearance, but as far as flavor, there's nothing wrong with that. And right now, all we're going to do is put a little heat on them, and there we go. So I'm going to do that. We're going to let these char up a little bit. Going to put them on a plate. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here they are, and I assure you, those will be some of the best ribs you'll ever eat. They're tender, just like they've been cooked for 6 hours, and they've got the char grilled taste, the charcoal flavor, and your friends will think you did something special. They won't actually know. And you could even get, there's nothing wrong with these ribs. I keep talking about them, but there's really not. I mean, this is what you'll get if you go to Ingles. I mean, that's what they sell. I mean, I'm not even knocking them. They're just, that's the way a beef rib is. And you can do this with pork ribs, so don't get me wrong. You can do this with a spare rib or St. Louis or baby back. You know, pressure cook them first, and then put them on the grill, and makes them way better. And you can't tell me that looks just like they came from being cooked 6 hours. I mean, that's what they look like, and I promise you, that's what they taste like. So anyhow, I don't know how I'm going to put y'all back. Somewhere I'm just going to, this video is going to get inserted, and then I'm going to let last night's ending where I signed off last night end the video. But hey, thanks for watching. Anyhow, taking you back to the other video. Good night, y'all. Okay, so as far as the Ninja Foodi alone, just nothing but the Ninja Foodi. I mean, you can imagine what the grill will make it, but just with the Ninja Foodi alone, it is excellent. It really is. It's got a lot of the gelatinous that, you know, like you get with some beef products, you know. It has that, and I hope that's focusing. I'm trying to see if it is, but you can see the bite is perfect, and of course the rib looks perfect, and you taste that coffee. And you taste a little of the ancho, not a lot. I really don't detect the ancho chilies. Almost not, I ain't gonna say it's not hot enough. I can taste it. So in other words, you could add some heat if you wanted it. But that spice has a good flavor. So does the salt lick. And of course you could pour out over it, and that's what I'm probably fixing to do. But like I said, or with some sides, imagine that with and like I said, you already got that bowl right here cooked. And you friends are over and kind of slip them on the grill, they'll never know, man. Nothing wrong with that method, and they'll love them. So anyhow, thank you very much for watching my video. I love y'all all, like I always say, and I really mean that. Come back to see me, and I'll put my big head right here for you to subscribe, and a video or two for you to look at. Try the beef ribs. Take one weekend to try beef ribs instead of pork. I think you'll be really impressed. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.